Harold Jenkins, a recently retired postal worker from a small town in Ohio, had always dreamed of traveling the world. After decades of sorting mail and delivering packages, he was eager to see the places he'd only glimpsed through postcards and letters. His children, now grown and living their own lives, had gifted him a cruise ticket for his 65th birthday, a gentle nudge to kickstart his adventures. On the day of departure, Harold arrived at the port, his excitement barely contained. His eyes sparkled with anticipation as he looked at the colossal ships moored at the docks, their names glinting in the morning sun. The ticket in his hand was his golden ticket to new experiences, promising a voyage across the Mediterranean's storied waters. However, in his excitement, Harold failed to notice the throng of much younger passengers streaming towards a different ship, the Cosmic Queen, an experimental space cruiser designed for interstellar travel. Mistaking the Cosmic Queen for his Mediterranean cruise ship, Harold shuffled aboard with the crowd. His mind was a whirlwind of daydreams about ancient ruins and exotic bazaars. It was not until the ship began its ascent, the powerful engines vibrating underfoot, that Harold realized something was amiss. Instead of the gentle tug of a sea-bound vessel, he felt a force pressing him firmly into his seat as the ship broke free from Earth's gravity. The realization dawned on Harold. He was not on a Mediterranean cruise. He was on a spaceship heading out of the solar system. Panic set in, and he rushed to the nearest crew member, a young woman with striking violet hair and a calm demeanor. "I think I'm on the wrong ship," Harold exclaimed, his voice tinged with desperation. The crew member, Mia, checked his ticket and sighed. "I'm afraid we can't turn back now, Mr. Jenkins. We're on a 10-year mission to explore habitable planets beyond our solar system." Harold's heart sank. A 10-year mission? He thought of his quiet home, his morning routine, his cat that his neighbor was supposed to feed while he was away for what he thought would be 2 weeks. Now, trapped on a spaceship, he felt his dreams of earthly travels slipping away. As he grappled with his new reality, Harold learned that he was among a group of 30 young women, all experts in various fields of science and technology. They were part of a program designed to ensure humanity had a foothold in distant worlds. Each one was a blend of brilliance and beauty, chosen not only for their intellect, but also for their resilience and adaptability. Despite his initial dismay, Harold's innate curiosity and lifelong learning kicked in. He began to attend the ship's briefings and lectures, learning about astrophysics, planetary geology, and the technological marvels aboard the Cosmic Queen. The crew, fascinated by his earthbound wisdom and kindness, welcomed him as one of their own. As the days turned into weeks, Harold adapted to his unexpected life in space. He found a new routine, assisting the crew with daily tasks, sharing stories of his life on Earth, and even picking up hobbies that were once alien to him, like hydroponic gardening and 3D printing. Though space was vast and daunting, Harold discovered that the beauty of the universe was beyond anything he could have imagined back on Earth. Stars that twinkled with promises of the unknown, planets that glowed with potential life, and the endless dance of cosmic forces became his new postcards from the edge of human exploration. And so, Harold's accidental journey turned into an epic of personal growth and interstellar discovery. Little did he know, the greatest adventures were still to come. The initial shock of his cosmic misadventure gradually faded, and Harold found himself more engrossed in the life aboard the Cosmic Queen. The ship was a masterpiece of human engineering, equipped with AI-driven systems and life support modules that mimicked Earth's environment. As Harold settled into his new reality, he became particularly close with Dr. Alara Miles, an astrobiologist who was leading the research on potential life-supporting planets. Alara was intrigued by Harold's perspective, a viewpoint not shaped by years of scientific training, but by decades of simple human experiences. Together, they spent hours discussing the philosophical implications of their mission, the ethics of terraforming new worlds, and the potential of encountering extraterrestrial life. Harold's questions often sparked new avenues of discussion, prompting the team to consider aspects of their mission they had overlooked. One evening, as the Cosmic Queen navigated through a particularly dense asteroid belt, the ship's alarms blared. An asteroid, larger than the sensors had initially detected, was on a collision course. The crew scrambled to their stations, executing emergency maneuvers. Harold, though untrained for such scenarios, followed Alara to the command deck. "Manual override," Captain Ava Lee commanded, her hands steady at the controls. The ship groaned under the strain as Ava skillfully dodged the looming mass of rock and ice. The near miss left the crew breathless but unharmed. Harold's admiration for the team's composure under pressure deepened, and a new resolve filled him. He requested to train in basic ship operations, not wanting to be mere cargo but an asset in times of crisis. Training was rigorous. Harold's age and earthbound muscles at first seemed a disadvantage, but his determination made up for physical limitations. He learned to navigate the complex control systems, understanding the ship's mechanics, and even assisting in minor repairs. His progress was a testament to his adaptability, impressing the crew, and even surprising himself. During a routine scan of a nearby uncharted system, the ship detected unusual signals emanating from a seemingly barren planet. The crew was abuzz with excitement. This could be a significant discovery. Alara and her team prepared for a closer investigation, and Harold was included in the landing party due to his keen observational skills and recent training. The landing craft descended through the planet's thick, misty atmosphere, revealing a landscape marked by vast oceans and scattered archipelagos. But it was not the water that caught Harold's attention. It was the structures partially visible above the sea's surface, clearly artificial and eerily reminiscent of submerged cities back on Earth. As they approached one of the islands, their sensors picked up life forms. Intelligent life, no doubt, given the complexity of the structures. Harold looked at Alara, excitement mirrored in her eyes. This was the moment every space explorer dreamed of, the first contact with another intelligent species. However, communication proved challenging. The alien beings were cautious, their technology vastly different from human. The Cosmic Queen's linguistics team worked tirelessly, analyzing the patterns of the aliens' communication. Harold, with his unique blend of patience and empathy, played a crucial role in the initial interactions, using nonverbal cues to bridge the gap between the two species. Through these careful exchanges, a rudimentary understanding began to form. The aliens, called the Thalai, had once inhabited a thriving planet before cataclysmic floods forced them underwater. Their history was a tapestry of survival and adaptation, themes that resonated deeply with Harold. As the Cosmic Queen continued its journey, the encounter with the Thalai marked a profound shift in its mission. What began as a voyage of discovery had transformed into an interstellar dialogue, expanding the boundaries of human understanding and compassion. Harold, once merely a misplaced retiree, had found a new purpose among the stars, forging connections not just between worlds, but between different forms of life itself. Months after their initial encounter with the Thalai, the Cosmic Queen found itself approaching a system marked by its unusually strong gravitational waves. This system, yet unnamed and unexplored by human or Thalai expeditions, presented a pulsar at its heart, orbited by several planets that defied the usual expectations of celestial mechanics. Harold, now more seasoned in the rigors of space travel and scientific observation, joined the team tasked with investigating the gravitational anomalies. The crew theorized that these anomalies might be due to a rare phenomenon known as gravitational echoes, remnants from a violent cosmic event. The closer they got, the more the reality exceeded their expectations. The pulsar, a rapidly spinning neutron star, emitted beams of electromagnetic radiation with such precision that they could be used as a galactic clock. However, it was the second planet from the pulsar that drew their attention. It was inexplicably maintaining a stable orbit, despite the intense gravitational forces at play. This planet, a rocky world with a thin atmosphere, seemed to be within the theoretical habitable zone, a fact that piqued Alara's interest. Deploying a series of satellites and probes, the crew set about unraveling the mysteries of this gravitational ballet. Harold worked closely with the engineering team, deploying satellites that could withstand the harsh gravitational pull, collecting data that would perhaps take years to fully understand. As the data streamed in, anomalies began to appear. Not only was the planet habitable, it appeared to be artificially stabilized in its orbit through mechanisms unknown and unseen. The concept of an engineered orbit was beyond anything previously imagined in human or Thalai science. The implications of such technology were profound. Here was a civilization that had mastered not just space travel, but the very fabric of space itself. Curiosity turned to cautious excitement as the team planned a landing. Given the stakes, only a small team was selected for the initial descent, and Harold was included for his unique insights and previous first contact experience. The landing craft touched down on a desolate landscape, surrounded by towering structures that shimmered with an ethereal glow, seemingly powered by the pulsar's energy. The silence of the planet was unsettling. It was clear that it was no longer inhabited, but signs of life were everywhere. In the architecture, in the remnants of technology that littered the ground, and in the faded murals that depicted star maps and galaxies. Exploration revealed a planet-wide network of libraries and archives, a trove of knowledge preserved not in books or digital formats, but in crystalline structures capable of storing vast amounts of information holographically. The crew dubbed this civilization the Custodians, a people who had reached the apex of their technological evolution and had perhaps moved beyond physical existence. Harold spent days, then weeks, assisting the linguistics and cryptography teams in deciphering the crystalline data. They learned that the custodians had foreseen the death of their star and the eventual transformation into the pulsar. Their response was not to flee, but to adapt and leave behind their knowledge for others to find, a beacon in the dark of space. The implications of this discovery were revolutionary. Here was a civilization that had chosen to face an inevitable demise with grace, preserving their legacy in a way that ensured it would endure the ravages of time and space. Their technology, their culture, even their philosophy now offered new realms of possibility for the human and Thalai civilizations. Harold felt a profound connection with the custodians, a people he had never met and yet had come to know intimately through their final acts. Their decision to embrace the end with dignity and foresight resonated with his own experiences, the unexpected turn his life had taken, the new roles he had embraced, the knowledge he had gained. In the silence of the abandoned libraries, surrounded by the echoes of a civilization that had mastered the stars, Harold found a new understanding of his place in the cosmos, not as a mere passenger, but as a bridge between what was, what is, and what could be. With the revelations from the custodian archives still fresh, the crew of the Cosmic Queen was abuzz with discussions about the implications of such advanced civilizations and the technologies they had left behind. Harold, having become a pivotal member of the expedition's cultural and diplomatic initiatives, found himself at the heart of planning their next moves. The next phase was clear: harness the custodian technology to further their exploration capabilities. Among the technologies unearthed was a schematic for what appeared to be a dimensional gate, capable, according to the translations, of bending space to create shortcuts through the cosmos. The engineering team, led by the brilliant but eccentric chief engineer Luca, proposed building a prototype of this gate, using the pulsar's predictable energy pulses as a power source. The project was ambitious and fraught with unknowns, but it promised to leapfrog current human and Thalai travel technologies by centuries. Harold worked alongside Luca, learning the principles of quantum tunneling and nonlinear space-time geometry. The theoretical aspects were often dizzying, but Harold's ability to simplify complex ideas into understandable concepts became crucial in cross-disciplinary team meetings. As construction of the dimensional gate commenced, Harold couldn't help but feel a twinge of concern. The technology was, after all, derived from a civilization that no longer existed. Could their disappearance have been linked to the very technology they were now attempting to replicate? His concerns were shared during a late-night discussion in the mess hall, leading to heated debates about ethical responsibilities and the path forward. Despite these concerns, progress was swift. The Cosmic Queen orbited the planet, converting the pulsar's energy into a stable power source for the gate. After months of preparation, the gate was ready for its first test. The crew gathered in the command center, the air thick with anticipation and anxiety. Harold stood by Luca's side as she initiated the activation sequence. The gate hummed to life, its surface shimmering like a mirage, opening a window to a point several light-years away. The test was a success, but the real challenge was yet to come. The team needed to ensure that the gate was safe for human and Thalai passage. Drones and probes sent through the gate returned data that was more than promising. They showed images of distant worlds, rich in resources and possibly harboring life. The decision was made to send a manned mission through the gate, with Harold volunteering to be part of the team. As the day of the expedition approached, Harold found himself reflecting on the enormity of what they were about to do. They were not merely exploring new planets. They were stepping through a door made by an extinct civilization, using a map they barely understood. It was a venture that blurred the lines between exploration and recklessness, science and fantasy. The mission through the gate was unlike any space travel Harold had ever experienced. The sensation was visceral, as if every molecule in his body was being stretched and compressed simultaneously. When they emerged on the other side, they found themselves orbiting a planet that was vibrant with life, a stark contrast to the barren world they had left behind. This new world was teeming with flora and fauna, along with ruins that suggested a past intelligent presence. Harold, together with a team of scientists and explorers, descended to the planet's surface. The air was breathable, an unexpected but welcome anomaly. They explored the ruins, discovering artifacts and more crystalline data stores, hints that this planet had once been part of a trade network, or even a colony of the custodians. Harold's role as a diplomat was put to the test when they encountered the descendants of the custodians, a species that had diverged significantly from their ancestors, adapted to their new environment. These beings were initially wary, but grew trusting as Harold and the team shared data from the custodian archives, bridging a gap hundreds of generations wide. As Harold navigated this complex web of historical legacies and new beginnings, he realized that their mission had evolved beyond exploration. They were now part of an unfolding narrative that connected disparate threads across time and space, weaving a new tapestry that included humanity and Thalai as partners in the cosmos's vast, unfolding mystery. As the relationship with the descendants of the custodians deepened, Harold's role became increasingly complex. He was not only a mediator, but also a chronicler of a burgeoning interspecies alliance. The Cosmic Queen served as a makeshift embassy in orbit, where strategies were discussed and future exploratory missions were planned. The newfound alliance prompted an exchange of knowledge and technology. The descendants, who called themselves the Aeonians, shared their adaptations to local environmental challenges, revealing biotechnologies that allowed them to thrive in harmony with their planet's ecosystem. In return, the humans and Thalai shared insights from other explored worlds, including advanced agricultural techniques and renewable energy systems. The collaboration bore fruit quickly. An interstellar trade network began to form, based on the principles found in the custodian archives, but adapted to the current needs and technologies of all parties involved. Harold took particular interest in the development of a universal education program, designed to prepare younger generations for a future where travel between stars was common and cultures mingled freely. Amidst these developments, the team discovered a series of ancient Aeonian texts that hinted at another dimensional gate, this one supposedly leading to a gathering place of the ancient custodian civilization. The implications were staggering. There could be a central hub somewhere in the galaxy, a place where knowledge from countless worlds was stored. The prospect of finding such a place became the next focal point of their mission. Luca and her engineering team, bolstered by Aeonian technological insights, began constructing a new gate, this one more sophisticated than the first. Harold assisted, his experiences on both Earth and through the gates providing invaluable perspectives on potential cultural and ethical pitfalls. He often found himself deep in conversation with Aeonian scholars, discussing the philosophical implications of such technology and the responsibility that came with it. As the new gate neared completion, a sense of unease settled over Harold. Each step forward in technology also stepped into the unknown, and the potential risks were enormous. He voiced these concerns during a council meeting, prompting a series of intense discussions about safety protocols and ethical guidelines for using the gate. These talks culminated in the drafting of the Intergalactic Accord, a set of principles governing the responsible use of dimensional travel, signed by all parties involved. The inauguration of the new gate was a momentous occasion, attended by delegates from multiple worlds. Harold was chosen to be part of the first delegation through the gate, a recognition of his contributions to the project and his role in fostering interstellar relations. As the gate activated, sending shimmering waves of light across the platform, he felt the weight of history pressing down on him. Stepping through the gate, the delegation emerged into a vast complex, a megastructure orbiting a dying star. It was the gathering place the texts had referred to, filled with emissaries from various star systems, all descendants of the custodian legacy. The complex was a library of sorts, but also a meeting ground, designed to facilitate cooperation and peace among the myriad branches of the custodian descendants. Here, Harold realized the true scale of what they had tapped into. This network of civilizations, linked by common ancestry and now by shared technology, offered a new vision for the cosmos, one of unity and shared purpose. As he participated in discussions about galactic peace and collective exploration initiatives, Harold reflected on the unlikely series of events that had brought him here, from a mistaken boarding on a spaceship to becoming a key figure in interstellar diplomacy. The legacy of the custodians, he understood, was not just about the technology they left behind, but the spirit of exploration and cooperation they instilled. In this sprawling cosmic forum, Harold saw the beginnings of a new chapter for all civilizations involved, united under the stars. The gathering place, a nexus of interstellar dialogue and cooperation, flourished as more civilizations, influenced by the custodian heritage, joined the assembly. Harold, now revered as an elder statesman among the delegates, continued to advocate for unity and shared exploration. His voice, seasoned yet filled with wonder, became a symbol of peace and the potential for interspecies collaboration. Amidst the diplomatic endeavors, Harold received news from the Cosmic Queen, the ship that had become both his home and his gateway to the stars. They had detected a series of anomalous signals emanating from an unexplored sector of the galaxy. These signals, unlike anything previously recorded, suggested the presence of a civilization even more advanced than the custodians. The discovery posed new questions and possibilities about the lineage of galactic civilizations and their interconnected histories. With a mix of excitement and duty, Harold proposed a mission to investigate the source of these signals. The proposal was unanimously approved, with many viewing it as the next logical step in their collective journey. Teams from various worlds volunteered, blending a wide array of scientific expertise and exploratory experience into a single unified expedition. As preparations for the mission progressed, Harold found himself mentoring younger delegates and explorers. His tales of Earth, his accidental voyage into space, and the profound lessons he had learned resonated deeply with those who would continue the legacy he had helped shape. His advice often centered on respect for the unknown and the humility required when facing the vastness of the cosmos. The mission launched with the fanfare of a civilization standing together, a spectacle of unity that would have been unimaginable decades ago. The fleet, a mosaic of different spacecraft designs and technologies, represented the best of the combined capabilities of the interstellar assembly. Harold, though offered a position of command, chose instead to serve as an ambassador at large, focusing on fostering dialogue and understanding among the crew. The journey to the source of the signals was long and fraught with challenges. Navigating through uncharted space tested the fleet's abilities and the resolve of its crew. Harold's diplomatic skills proved invaluable as tensions and the stress of the unknown strained the multicultural team. His presence reminded everyone of the larger purpose of their mission. Finally, after months of travel, the fleet arrived at a system that was the source of the mysterious signals. What they found was beyond their wildest speculations, an ancient artificial structure, colossal in size, orbiting a dormant black hole. The structure was clearly designed for sustainability and long-term habitation, hinting at a civilization that had mastered not only space travel, but also the manipulation of gravitational fields for their survival. Initial scans revealed that the structure was still operational, its systems functioning at a low energy state, likely in a form of hibernation. The decision was made to attempt contact, a task that fell to Harold given his experience and the respect he commanded across species and cultures. The moment of first contact was tense, watched by countless beings across the galaxy through live feeds. When the inhabitants of the structure responded, their message was one of cautious welcome. They identified themselves as the Sentinels, custodians of galactic heritage and peacekeepers, descendants of a coalition that included the custodians and other ancient civilizations. Their mission had been to watch over the galaxy, intervening only when absolutely necessary to prevent catastrophic conflicts. The revelation that such a civilization existed, silently guiding the galaxy's progress, was humbling and awe-inspiring. Negotiations began, with Harold at the forefront, to integrate the Sentinels into the broader galactic community. As the Cosmic Queen and her sister ships prepared to return to the gathering place, Harold looked out at the stars, contemplating his incredible journey from Earth. He had not only traversed physical space, but had also navigated the complex tapestry of interstellar relations, helping to knit together a galaxy-wide civilization bound by mutual respect and cooperation. Harold's story, from an accidental spacefarer to a linchpin of galactic diplomacy, would be told for generations as an exemplar of the potential within every being to influence the cosmos. Proof that sometimes the smallest steps can lead to the most significant leaps for mankind.